Welcome to K-Drama Cycle, where we bring you the stories that go beyond entertainment, stories of truth, loyalty, and the fight for justice. Today's story is one that has shaken the entire Chinese entertainment industry. It's about friendship, silence, and the moment when four of the biggest names in C-drama, Dylan Wang, Wong Ebo, Shunyu, and Joseph Zeng, finally decided they couldn't stay quiet any longer. This is the story of how they stood up and spoke out about the controversy surrounding Yu Menglong. Yu Menglong, known to many fans as Alan Yu, has been one of the industry's most beloved stars. From his early breakout role in The Romance of the Condor Heroes to his unforgettable performance in Eternal Love, he built a reputation for being gentle, talented, and remarkably private. But behind that calm image was a man facing enormous pressure from fame, from management, and from a system that often forgets the human behind the celebrity. Everything changed when news broke that Yu Menglong had been caught in a storm of legal and emotional turmoil. Details were initially scarce, but whispers began spreading online, disputes over contracts, conflicts with production teams, and an alleged betrayal within his close circle. As rumors piled up, Yu Menglong disappeared from the public eye. And when his situation worsened, fans began demanding answers. At first, most of his celebrity friends stayed silent. The entertainment world in China is known for its delicacy. One wrong word can end a career. But silence, in this case, only deepened suspicion and heartbreak. Then, as the controversy grew louder, one voice finally broke through the noise. It was Dylan Wang. Known for his bold personality and fearless attitude, Dylan was one of the first to step forward. In a late-night post that fans quickly screenshot before it was deleted, he wrote, "Some things should not be buried in silence. If you know the truth, you know he didn't deserve this." The post exploded across social media. Within hours, the hashtag Dylan Wang speaks for Yu Menglong began trending, drawing millions of views. That short message reopened old wounds and started new discussions. People wanted to know, what truth was Dylan hinting at? Why did he choose now to speak? Insiders revealed that Dylan and Yu Menglong had remained close after filming a project years ago. Yu Menglong had reportedly helped Dylan navigate his early fame, offering advice when he struggled with the pressures of celebrity life. So for Dylan, this wasn't just about defending a colleague. It was about loyalty to a friend who once protected him. Soon after Dylan's post, Wong Ebo, known for his calm and reserved nature, did something rare. He spoke. Instead of social media, he chose to make a subtle but powerful statement during an interview. When asked about the challenges of being in the industry, he paused, then said, "Sometimes the quietest people carry the heaviest burdens. I just hope that no one forgets compassion." He didn't name anyone, but everyone knew who he was referring to. That sentence alone sparked an emotional wave across the internet. Fans flooded comment sections, saying, "Ebo is standing with Menglong in his own way." As the momentum grew, actress Shen Yue, who had once shared the screen with Yu Menglong in a romantic drama, decided she could no longer remain silent either. In a heartfelt live stream, her voice trembled as she spoke about the pain of seeing someone good fall victim to harsh judgment. She said, "He was one of the kindest people I've worked with. Sometimes the industry is so quick to point fingers, but no one asks what really happened behind closed doors." Viewers could see her fighting back tears. Within minutes, the clip went viral. Shen Yue's emotional honesty became a turning point. Fans began demanding transparency, not gossip. Then came Joseph Zeng. Known for his sharp intellect and outspokenness, Joseph didn't hold back. In a studio interview, he admitted, "A lot of us knew things weren't right, but we were told to stay quiet. I'm done being quiet." Those words hit hard. For the first time, the public heard that many insiders had known about Yu Menglong's struggles but had been warned not to intervene. Joseph's courage inspired others to finally speak their truth as well. As these statements spread, the narrative began to shift. What was once framed as a personal controversy now looked like a systemic failure, a story of an artist mistreated and left alone to face consequences that weren't entirely his fault. Netizens rallied behind the stars, flooding comment sections with messages of support for Yu Menglong and demands for industry accountability. But the reactions weren't all positive. Some critics accused the stars of using the controversy for publicity. Others argued that their words came too late, after the damage was already done. Still, Fans defended them fiercely, saying that speaking up, even late, was better than staying silent forever. Meanwhile, Yu Menglong's representatives released a brief statement thanking everyone for their concern and asking for privacy. It didn't deny the allegations, but it hinted that the full story had yet to be told. That only fueled speculation further. Was he preparing to speak out himself, or were there forces still trying to keep him quiet? Behind the scenes, multiple sources began confirming what Dylan, Wang, Shunyu, and Joseph had implied, that Yu Menglong had faced extreme pressure from both management and sponsors over a dispute involving creative control. He wanted artistic freedom, but contracts locked him into projects he didn't believe in. When he tried to fight back, the industry turned against him. And in that silence, he began to fade away. For Dylan Wang, that injustice was too personal to ignore. He began reaching out to other actors privately, encouraging them to take a stand against unfair practices. Insiders say that his leadership behind the scenes gave courage to others who had once been afraid to speak. In private fan messages, Dylan reportedly said, "I don't care if it costs me roles. If we don't protect each other, who will?" Those words spread like wildfire. Suddenly, what began as a single statement became a movement, a demand for fairness, respect, and humanity in an industry obsessed with image. Wong Ebo continued to show quiet support. During a public event, he wore a white ribbon on his jacket, a small gesture that fans interpreted as solidarity with Yu Menglong. No words were needed. The image alone became symbolic, calm defiance wrapped in grace. Shunyu, meanwhile, began amplifying her message about mental health awareness in entertainment. She partnered with organizations that support young artists facing stress and anxiety. In one heartfelt speech, she said, "I wish someone had been there for Menglong earlier. But we can still be there for those who need it now." Her words brought compassion back into a conversation that had been dominated by anger and blame. Joseph Zeng, on the other hand, took a more direct route. He started speaking at forums about transparency in production contracts, urging agencies to prioritize fairness over profit. His stance made headlines, and many applauded him for using his platform to demand change rather than sympathy. Together, their actions began reshaping the public's perception. No longer was Yu Menglong's story about scandal, it became a wake-up call. It reminded everyone that celebrities are not invincible, they are human beings trying to survive in an unforgiving industry. As for Yu Menglong, sources close to him revealed that he had been quietly recovering away from the spotlight. He was focusing on healing, reflecting, and deciding how to share his truth when the time felt right. And according to insiders, the messages of support from Dylan Wang, Wong Ebo, Shen Yue, and Joseph Zeng had reached him. He was said to be deeply moved and grateful, knowing that even after all the pain, his friends had not abandoned him. This story continues to evolve. Every week, new details surface, from leaked contracts to old interviews that suddenly make more sense. But one thing has become crystal clear: silence will no longer protect anyone. The courage of these four stars has forced an industry-wide reflection on how artists are treated, how voices are silenced, and how loyalty can survive even in the harshest spotlight. Perhaps that's the real heart of this story, not the controversy itself, but the courage to confront it. Because sometimes justice begins not with a court case or a press release, but with a few brave people who choose truth over fear. As fans, we often see the glamour, the red carpets, and the smiles. But behind every perfect photo is a person with struggles we may never understand. Dylan Wang, Wong Ebo, Shunyu, and Joseph Zeng reminded us of that truth, that friendship and compassion still exist, even in a world built on performance. And maybe, in the end, that's what Yu Menglong needed most, to be seen, believed, and remembered not as a controversy, but as a person who inspired change. This has been K-Drama Cycle. Thank you for watching and for standing with us as we tell the stories that matter, stories of courage, resilience, and the enduring power of truth.